Today we will finish this chapter, that is applications of biotechnology. Biotechnology and its applications. All of we know biotechnological principles can be applied for various purposes. It can be applied in agriculture to create genetically modified plants or GM plants. By means of biotechnology, we can create GM animals. They can give us various biological products. By the techniques of biotechnology, we can also create GM microorganisms. It is also helpful in medicine as well as for diagnosis of diseases. So today's objectives are here. Now let's have a look. What do we mean by genetically modified organisms or GM organisms? They are also known as transgenic organisms because these are the organisms with one or two foreign genes. Foreign genes means alien gene. When this alien gene inserted into the organism, that organism become a transgenic or genetically modified. Now one more question. How we can produce transgenic organism? Your answer is by using rDNA technology or recombinant DNA technology. So here you see this DNA is having a transgene. So this transgene by means of recombinant DNA technology inserted into a cell, and this cell is now become a transgenic cell. By tissue culture technique, we can convert this cell into a organism. Either we can introduce this transgenic cell into the body, as we will see in gene therapy. We first introduce a healthy gene or transgene to correct a non-functional gene. That is the purpose of gene therapy. Therapy means treatment. So this treatment is to correct the genetic disorders, basically disorders due to mutation. So let's define what do we mean by a transgenic organism. Now transgenic organisms possess and express a transgene or alien gene. They can be transgenic plants, GM plants also known as transgenic plants. Transgenic plants. So these are the examples of some transgenic plants. BT crops, golden rice, flava-starved tomatoes, then nematode-resistant plants or nematode-resistant tobacco plants. All these are very much helpful for agriculture. They increase the crop production. Now have a look one by one. What is BT crops? BT crops can be BT rice, BT cotton, BT maize, BT brinjal like this, BT tomato like this. So BT stands for a bacteria a soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis. So that Bacillus thuringiensis bacterium is having a transgene. So that Bacillus thuringiensis is having a transgene, that is CRY in small letter, or we can say it as Bt toxin gene. So generally this gene, when expressed in the bacterial cytoplasm, it produces some proteins in form of crystals. That's why they name crystallized proteins. CRY, crystal first thinta letter. So these crystallized proteins in the bacterial cytoplasm is inactive, so it is protoxin. So the CRY gene expressed to form a inactive protein called protoxin. So this bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis remain unaffected in presence of this protoxin. This is not a functional toxin, it is an inactive toxin. When this bacteria will be eaten by any insect, and that insect will die, because in the alimentary canal of insect this bacteria will break down, so that the crystallized protein protoxin will become dissolved in the alkaline pH and get activated. So this protoxin now become active CRY protein, or we can say active Bt toxin. So CRY gene is also called Bt toxin gene. So this Bt toxin is not harmful for bacteria itself, because in the bacteria it is in inactive state, but this is harmful for insect caterpillar. So mostly in agriculture we are getting very less product due to this insect infestation. Insects caterpillar eat the leaves of the plant, so automatically crop production will reduce. So at that time what we are doing? We are using chemical pesticides. So chemicals not only kill the target insect, but also killing the non-target organisms like birds, fish, like this. So one choice, either spray this Bacillus thuringiensis bacterial spore, that spore will be on the leaf where the insect will eat, it will die. Another way to make the plant transgenic. This is the background knowledge. So scientists identified the CRY gene. Many types of CRY genes are there, and this CRY gene considered as a transgene. We introduce this gene into a plant cell, rice plant, cotton plant, maize plant. That means the entire plant body consists of cell having this transgene CRY gene. So CRY gene is a transgene. So what do we mean by Bt crop? These are the crop plants with a transgene named CRY gene. That means each and every plant cell will produce this protoxin. Once the caterpillar will eat, the protoxin become toxin it make the alimentary canal of insect porous, the caterpillar will die. So instead of using chemical pesticides repeatedly, instead of spraying Bt spores repeatedly, this is a very innovative method. By genetic engineering, we introduce the cryogene into plant body, so the crops become transgenic. These are Bt crops. These are insect resistant crops. Which type of insects? Bt crops are protected from insects like Lepidopterans, Coleopterans, Diapterans. Such type of insect order will be prevented. Clear? Now, golden rice. Golden rice is also a transgenic plant. This rice contains a transgene called beta-carotene gene. Scientists simultaneously introduced 3 genes related to beta-carotene. Actually, ordinary rice never produce vitamin A. Scientists noticed poor peoples, those are basically eating rice, vitamin deficiency A taking place. So all of you know vitamin A deficiency causes night blindness. So poor people, they don't have electric facility. That's why in the night visibility will be less. Scientists thought, why not we introduce a gene into rice plant so that the rice plant produce rice that contain vitamin A. So actually, carrot we are eating contain carotene. That carotene, after eaten, digested, enter into liver cell. In the liver cell, one carotene, beta carotene, break down into 2 vitamin A. So golden rice is a transgenic plant with beta carotene gene. So don't think beta carotene is a vitamin A. It is a provitamin. Beta carotene, it is a provitamin A gene. Clear? So golden rice is a transgenic plant having at least 3 genes responsible for production of beta carotene as well as their successful absorption in the alimentary canal. Beta carotene may not be absorbed in the alimentary canal. That's why some iron necessary. So the absorption power will increase. For that another gene introduced. That's why transgenic golden rice contains 3 transgenes, not 1. In lower class, we discuss about beta carotene. In entrance class, you will learn more. What are the mechanisms? Now come to this tomato. So ordinary tomato lifespan is very less. Ordinary tomato is very much watery, contain lot of seeds. But in market, this type of tomatoes present, very attractive, highly colorful. If we break open, seeds are less, and the lifespan is too long. बहुत दिन से टमाटो रहे. So these are transgenic tomatoes. So what is the difference between the two? Ordinary tomatoes, they decompose because one enzyme is very much active, polygalacturonase. That enzyme degrades the cell wall. So scientists thought if we introduce a gene that will counter the enzyme polygalacturonase, ताले polygalacturonase को destroy करिया पे गोटे enzyme गोटे gene introduce करा. That gene is a transgene. So flowers of tomato, they are transgenic crop. They possess and express a gene that destroy the impact of polygalacturonase. So this polygalacturonase promote the softening of the fruit. That's why the tomatoes recently brought from market getting bruised, galo siji jaithibo. So polygalacturonase increase the softness of the fruit, but in this plant that enzyme activity is reduced because we have introduced a transgene. Now come to nematode resistant plants, tobacco. So you can see in the NCERT book two diagrams given. Clear? This one is a tobacco root system. This is a tobacco plant root system highly infected with a nematode parasite. Nematode means nemat will mean this. It is a worm, round worm. So you see, when the root system is highly infected, this plant will produce very less crop. So tobacco crops are affected due to this nematode plant. You see in the next slide, here a plant is shown where the root system are not at all affected with nematode. That means it is a transgenic plant. So how this is possible? Which type of nematode generally affect tobacco plant? It is Melodyzyne incognitia. It is there in your NCERT book, page 209. Melodyzyne incognitia. It infects the root of tobacco plants. Clear? So what we have to do to create this transgenic plant? We will introduce a nematode gene. Suppose this nematode gene, after introduction into a plant, tobacco plant, disturbing the metabolic activity of the tobacco cell. That's why it is affected. That's why scientists introduce the gene belong to nematode, Melodyzyne gene. So this Melodyzyne gene introduced in such that two strands will be expressed. Recall your molecular biology. Every gene has a promoter and terminator. If we change the position of promoter and terminator, the template strand definition will change. In this diagram, when promoter is here, that means this strand is a template. 3' to 5' is a template. If the position is changed, now think this is promoter. That means this strand will express. So this strand will express. So scientists genetically engineered the harmful gene of nematode so that they create two genes. just by switching the position of promoter and terminator. And interestingly, these are nothing but transgene, and they introduce this gene into plant cell. Suppose this is a tobacco plant. Both the genes are entered. After gene expression, two different proteins will produce in their cytoplasm. All of you know, if both strands express, two different type of RNA produce, but they are complementary, they will form double strand. So here the same thing happens. Both type of RNA produced form double strand. So now think this is double stranded RNA. So this double stranded RNA will be broken into pieces and they combine with a protein to form one activated RISC, RISC. RISC full form RNA induced silencing complex. RISC. So this double stranded RNA fragmented, and fragments of double stranded RNA combined with proteins to form a RISC. That means this is suppose protein and this is the RNA. This is now activated RISC. Activated. Again I am repeating. This is a nematode specific gene. This nematode specific gene engineered so that both strands can express. How we introduce this transgene? By agrobacterium mediated gene transfer, because this is a plant cell. After introduction, both strands produce RNA, those are complementary. So double stranded RNA produced. In the cytoplasm of this plant cell, double stranded RNA fragmented, combines with a protein to form an activated RISC. तब कोई परिवार सर double stranded RNA strand करेगा. This protein dissolved. So now it is activated. Now think, naturally one nematode parasite introduce its gene. Now our cell is prepared for that challenge. When the natural gene enters, natural gene produce RNA, they are waiting that this portion is complementary to this bigger RNA. So immediately that RNA will be broken. So bacteria nematode gene will never express, because this activated RISC will break the RNA into fragments. So this technique is called RNA silencing. नेमाटोड वाला आरएनए को साइलेंट कर दिया गया, दैट इज आरएनए silencing, or in short we can say RNA interference. RNA, that means we disturb, we interfere the functioning of nematode gene. Nematode gene expression को block कर देंगे, because our transgenic plant cell contain activated RISC. This activated RISC is eagerly waiting for the parasitic gene. Once the parasitic gene started expression, protein भी नहीं बन पाएगा. That RNA will be identified. because our activated is floating in the cytoplasm. Wherever the RNA is there, it will bind and cut into pieces. So that technique is called RNA silencing technique or RNA interference. Clear? So how we introduce this transgene? By agrobacterium mediated gene transfer. Now our transgenic tobacco plant is ready and it is protected from the infestation of Melodyzyme incognitia. This part is over. Now GM animals. Transgenic animals or genetically modified animals are many types. So many examples are there. But out of those, 95% animals produced by scientists are nothing but transgenic mice. दुनिया में जितना ट्रांसजेनिक एनिमल बनाया जाता है 95% of them are transgenic mice. चूहा ही क्यों ट्रांसजेनिक बनाते हैं हम लोग? Question can be asked. The answer is this is a laboratory mouse. Suppose I am a scientist, I am interested to know the functioning of a gene, the physiological functioning of a gene, how the gene works. I cannot use human as an animal, so I will obtain the human gene. In molecular biology, human genome project, we already know the sequence of gene, where they present. I isolated a gene. And mice is a mammal. I introduced that gene into the zygote stage. So that zygote become embryo and the mother mouse give the birth of baby mice, and that is a transgenic mice. So the transgenic mice can be used for various purposes. I told you one purpose, to know the normal physiology and development of gene, to study the gene. Nowadays we know so many genes are causing cancers. So scientists want to know their working mechanism. So they use this transgenic mice model. Every human cancer gene will be introduced into a mice and they will start doing experiment on that. And another thing, vaccine safety. For vaccine safety, nowadays we are eagerly waiting for coronavirus vaccine. So when that vaccine will come for trial in human body after successful safety testing in transgenic mice. So after injecting the vaccine in transgenic mice or transgenic monkey, then only we can go for human trials. So transgenic mice are the mice, they simulate the model of a human body. If that vaccine can kill these mice, then our vaccine has no safety. It is not safe for human trials. So then chemical safety testing or toxicity testing. Suppose one new medicine, new drugs discovered. We don't know the safety of the drugs in human body. It may give some side effects. Before releasing to the market, we need quality control. This is one step. First we introduce that drug into the transgenic mice. We will see the activity of the mice, not one, hundreds, batch. We will do control testing. One group of transgenic mice will given that drugs and another group will not given that drugs, will compare what is the difference taking place. If the most of the transgenic animals surviving, then our drug is very effective and it will be allowed for marketing. So the transgenic mice, 95% transgenic animals, they are generated for various purposes. They are generated to know the physiology and development, to study the genes, for vaccine safety, for chemical safety testing. Now, we are also creating transgenic animals to obtain the biological products. This is one example, transgenic cow Roji. So this transgenic cow is having a transgene. That transgene can produce alpha lactalbumin. Alpha lactalbumin. So one more question. Name the transgene that present in Roji. रोजी काउ के अंदर कौन सा ट्रांसजीन था? द जीन प्रोड्यूसिंग अल्फा लैक्टोबैसिलस. दिस इज ए प्रोटीन. ये प्रोटीन तैयार करने वाला जीन, दैट इज ए ट्रांसजीन. सो एक्चुअली दैट जीन इज ए ह्यूमन जीन. सो ह्यूमन जीन इंट्रोड्यूस इनटू ए काउ. ये नौबत क्यों आया? This is a biological product. Nowadays, lactating mother giving very much less milk, producing very much less milk for the newborn baby. Tale doctor giving food supplement, नहीं तो वो बच्चा कैसे बचेगा? And this human protein is very much necessary for the growth of the baby. That's why we barely need this protein. तेणु ये protein produce करिया पई artificially we have introduced the gene into the cow. Similarly, we can produce transgenic animals to produce human protein like alpha 1 antitrypsin. This can treat emphysema. Emphysema is a lungs disorder. In emphysema, the number of alveoli usually reduce. Those are chain smokers. They are affected with emphysema because the surface area reduced. So doctors treat them by injecting one enzyme, that is alpha 1 antitrypsin. How this can be obtained? We introduce the gene into animal and that animal will give us that product. So GM animals over. In last class I told you GM microorganism, transgenic microbes. One example, superbug produced by Anand Mohan Chakravarti that can remove oil spill. We can produce a transgenic yeast. Like this, so many examples are there. Now, come to our last part, that is application of biotechnology in medicine. Application of biotechnology in therapeutics and diagnostics. So, nowadays in market so many recombinant drugs are available. Near about 30 recombinant therapeutics means medicines have been approved for human use world over, out of which 12 of them are being marketed. as per your NCERT. This is highly erroneous. Nowadays, over 300 recombinant therapeutics used world over. This book is a very old book. So many of them are in India now. This is one of them, Humulin. That is genetically engineered human insulin. Actually, human beta cell of pancreas. You know pancreatic islet of Langerhans, alpha cell, beta cell, delta cell, PP cell. Beta cell contain chromosome 11. Suppose this is chromosome 11. The chromosome 11 contains DNA. This is insulin gene. Suppose insulin gene. And this insulin gene produce a proinsulin. This insulin gene produce a proinsulin gene. Suppose this is a proinsulin gene. So proinsulin is inactive insulin. Proinsulin, this is inactive insulin. Proinsulin contain 3 chain, actually entirely one polypeptide chain. It can be divided into 3 parts. This is A chain, this portion is B chain, and this is the C chain. A chain, B chain, C chain, B chain, B chain. So after processing, the C polypeptide fragment is removed. In our cell cytoplasm, one enzyme is there that can process the proinsulin so that mature insulin can be produced. This is A chain, this is B chain, and this C polypeptide chain is removed. So this functional insulin, this is a mature insulin, functional insulin. In last year medical entrance, one question asked, which bond held the A polypeptide chain, B polypeptide chain together? Answer is disulfide bridge. A chain contains 21 amino acid. 21 amino acid residue. B chain contains 30 amino acid residue. Tale all total insulin consists of 51 amino acid. So scientists compare insulin from various vertebrate animals, and interestingly, cattle insulin can work in human body, pig insulin can work in human body, because the sequence of amino acid is almost same. Earlier to genetic engineering technology, how diabetic patients are treated? Diabetic patients will be given insulin derived from slaughtered animals. Slaughterhouse, जोटी animals मान को कटा हो, तांकर pancreas को isolate करिए. That insulin is not purified. It contains other contaminants. After injection to a human, that may develop some side effects, because any foreign protein is an antigen that can generate antibodies in our body. so it will challenge our immune system. So to avoid this problem, scientists thought to prepare genetically engineered insulin. All of you know this insulin gene contain introns and exons. If we directly introduce the gene, listen, if we directly introduce the gene in the bacterial cell, the bacteria will produce proinsulin. Because bacterial cell may not having the enzyme for processing. Again, introns, exon, mRNA processing necessary. Introns must be removed, exons. So in order to avoid all these problems, scientists dropped the proposal of direct introduction of insulin gene as a transgene. पहले डायरेक्टली इंसुलिन जीन को भर्ती कले हमें इंसुलिन पाइबानी. So what they did, they prepared insulin रो गोटे mRNA आसला ना, this is insulin mRNA. They constructed a DNA from this mRNA. So they constructed a DNA and that DNA don't have any introns because we are artificially producing the gene. So that gene is a cDNA. cDNA. So that artificially constructed DNA is prepared for HN as well as BHN. Listen, which company first released this genetically engineered insulin? It is an American company, Eli Lilly. In year 1983, American company Eli Lilly prepared 2 DNA sequence. One for HN, that DNA sequence means gene. One DNA for HN and one DNA for the synthesis of BHN. And they introduced the gene for HN and they introduced the gene for BHN separately into E. coli bacteria. These are the bacteria. You know the technique. Construction of recombinant DNA, gene transfer, gene cloning, finally we obtain HN. Here in this fermenter, what we obtain? BHN. And now we mix these two chains, so automatically disulfide bond produced and finished product humulin obtained. This is the technique. यदि डायरेक्टली इंसुलिन जीन भर्ती करना दे, so mature insulin will never produce. We may not obtain. So that's why to separate gene produced, to separate DNA sequence, they introduce separately into bacteria E. coli, and we obtain HN separately, and by fusing them, mature insulin obtained. Now come to gene therapy. Therapy means treatment. Treatment by giving medicine is chemotherapy. You know it. Treatment by giving drugs, chemotherapy. So here it is gene therapy. Treatment by giving gene. Treatment by giving gene. That is gene therapy. So due to gene mutation, the person is getting affected. That genetic disorder cannot be corrected at all. So that genetic disorder can be treated by genetic engineering technique. will know by discussing one digit, that is SCID, severe combined immunodeficiency. You know another immunodeficiency, AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency. It is a viral disease. In this disease, one cell, that is T cell, helper T cell affected. AIDS रे helper T cell affected होता है. All of you know, for our immune system, two type of cells necessary for acquired immunity: B cell, T cell. So in this disorder, both B cell, T cell affected. So it is more dangerous than AIDS. This is a genetic disorder. This is a genetic disorder where both B cell and T cell become non-functional. Why non-functional? Scientists noticed due to a deficiency of ADA. ADA deficiency. So SCID is a ADA deficiency disorder. ADA full form adenosine deaminase. This is enzyme. So adenosine deaminase तैयार करने वाला जीन, that is called ADA gene. ADA gene produce adenosine deaminase enzyme, ADA enzyme. So ADA enzyme is the gene product. तामाने the patient with SCID, they are lacking ADA enzyme. That's why their B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte become non-functional. That means pathogen will enter, they cannot do anything because they are non-functional. So these type of patients after birth, they will die definitely. So they have to cover their body isolation suit, so that environmental air directly will not touch their body. If that will enter into the body, then the person will die. So a treatment required to correct the ADA gene. So in this patient, ADA gene is mutated ADA gene. That's why you have to introduce a functional ADA gene. That is gene therapy. So this person, one example, in America, a 4-year-old girl in year 1990 was the first patient to treat this disease SCID. She was the first girl who obtained gene therapy. So what are the choice of gene therapy? हम इसको कैसे ट्रीटमेंट कर सकते हैं? Treatment can be done before birth. That is the real gene therapy. And treatment can be given after birth. ताले after birth, what are the possibility? Possibility number 1, repeated infusion of engineered lymphocytes. This is first choice. B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte को repeatedly inject करना. एक पेशेंट देह ता बॉडी रो lymphocyte आनले बाहर आमे भलो जीन इंट्रोड्यूस कर देछि. ताले एटा जेनेटिकली इंजीनियर ताकू नै कि पीरियडिकली इंजेक्शन दो. ताले एटा परमानेंट ट्रीटमेंट होला. Second choice, we can drag out some bone marrow cells. Those are producing B cell, T cell, and we engineer that bone marrow cell. ताले bone marrow transplantation. Bone marrow transplantation. And these two procedures are not permanent cure. For this we'll use retrovirus, disarmed pathogen to introduce the human gene. We discussed it already. So then, hard and final choice that should be done before birth. If gene therapy is done before birth, that means at early embryonic stage it could be a permanent cure. That means ADA gene should be introduced into the cell of the embryonic stage. That's why in genetics we discussed amniocentesis technique. That is the biochemical technique to know the genetic disorders at the embryonic stage. If we know, then we can treat. So SCI. Then final molecular diagnosis. Today's diagnosis technique, रोग हेले डॉक्टर पाखु जीवी टेस्ट हो, सेरम टेस्ट, यूरिन टेस्ट, रिपोर्ट बाहरिबो, then doctor will confirm the disease. So already person disease, for confirmation we are doing test. That is traditional diagnosis. So today's diagnosis is molecular diagnosis. By biotechnology method, we can know, today we are in 2020, in 2022 you will get this disease. We can know a person is asymptomatic, coronavirus is there, that may have, we can know by molecular diagnosis. That is RT-PCR. So PCR technique, molecular diagnosis. So what are the techniques applied? One is PCR, polymerase chain reaction. Nowadays this technique is regularly used for detection of AIDS. PCR technique, this can be used for detection of cancer patients. Cancer. By this technique you can write also to detect coronavirus. Because by this technique we can amplify the DNA, genetic material that is not known to us. So reverse transcription, RT-PCR, polymerase chain reaction. This is a confirmatory test, molecular diagnosis. Second, ELISA, enzyme linked immunoabsorbent assay, ELISA. This technique can be used for diagnosis. Then third and final one is recombinant DNA technology or rDNA technology. We know this. If a gene is mutated, suppose a cancer patient, we want to know which gene is mutated. We can use this recombinant DNA, and by Southern blotting technique, if pairing is not, if hybridization is not taking place, we can diagnose this gene mutation taking place. That's why this cancer. So these are the three commonly used techniques of molecular diagnosis. By this we have finished this chapter. Very few left, that is biopiracy and biopatent. Like this we will take another class. In that class we will continue with ecology. Thank you.